Almost everyone will tell you that Escape from Tarkov can be a stressful game, and that's definitely true for all us solo players out there. Solo Tarkov is almost a completely different game compared to squads, trios, or even duos. Solo Tarkov is definitely the hardest, but also the most rewarding way to play. And that's why today I thought I'd share some tips on how to hopefully improve as a solo in the rough landscape of Tarkov. So without wasting any more of your time, let's jump straight into tip 1. And that is to learn the maps. Map knowledge is key in Tarkov, so the faster you can learn where RPMCs will be, or even spawn for that matter, the better. Tarkov gives you the ability to go into offline mode on any map, which is really useful for learning them and figuring out where everything is. But for one step further, you could also go online, and there are plenty of websites out there that will give you a detailed map to look at. Now if you pair the offline mode and also have the map on a second monitor or a phone or even just another tab, you will quickly be able to learn each map. Now an example of a map website that I would use, or that I've used before, is Map Genie. This will however cost you a bit of money to unlock all the maps, but for free you can access every map apart from Reserve, Ground Zero and Lighthouse I think. And it only costs around £9 as a one-off purchase, so that works out about 11 or 12 US dollars. And like I said, it's a one-off purchase, but it's definitely not required. And you have access to all the tools available in the free version as well. Now the link to this will be in the description if you want to use it. Now on to tip 2, and that would be to use a suppressor in every raid that you can. Now I know this sounds dumb, but using a suppressor reduces the sound your gun makes when firing. This in turn makes it way harder for people to pinpoint where you are from all over the map. There are players who are going to be in your raid who will rush any gunshots they hear just so that they can find PvP, and if you're running a suppressor, you're reducing your chances of being tracked through the whole map. Yes, I know suppressors can be quite a chunk of money to add on to your gun, but hey, I'd rather spend the extra 50 to 70k and keep the gun rather than build a whole new gun every single raid that I keep dying in. And also, suppressors significantly reduce your recoil, which is another nice feature, although it does harm the ergonomics a bit. Now on to tip 3, and that is to think about what is behind you. Now let me explain that one a bit better. Try to think about how you will look to the enemies. What is behind you? Do you stand out? And a great example of this would be, if you're standing on a hill with nothing behind you, then this would mean that you're silhouetted and are really easy to spot, compared to having something like trees or rocks behind you. Then you wouldn't stand out as much. One of the best ways to survive more in Tarkov is to not actually be seen. Now think about how many times you've died from someone and you had no idea where they were. Now think of the amount of easy kills you've had on people because they're out in the open, or they were just poorly positioned to where you could see them really easily. Tip 4 is to always reposition after you've shot. If you remember back to tip 2 when I said about people tracking you across a map, well, it's way harder to do that if you're constantly moving and changing location. If you're in a gunfight and kill someone, reposition so that his teammate doesn't know where you are. And please, please do not repeat the same angle. You're just giving the enemy a free kill 90% of the time. The more you move and change location, the harder it is for the enemy to grenade you or to comfortably push you, whereas if you stay where you are, the enemy will just flank you and kill you, or they'll just simply start nading where they last seen or heard you. Now on to tip 5, which is probably the most important one, and that is the golden rule of Tarkov, which is, there's always one more. If you've killed one player, he has a friend. If you've killed 4 players, then there's a 5th. And even if you've killed all 5 in a team, there's always someone who's came to third party. Just because you think you've killed everyone doesn't mean you have. And for all you know, the person you've just dropped has someone telling him in the Discord to camp his body. If you treat every fight like there's always one more, then I can almost guarantee you that you'll start surviving more raids. Be patient if you kill someone. Just reposition and wait. You never know who else is lurking. Hopefully you've learned something from this video, and if you have any more tips that you think I've missed or are useful, please write them down below. And with all that out of the way, here's some videos that YouTube thinks you'll like, and please consider liking and subscribing, and I hope we'll meet again. Now please enjoy the rest of your day.